This is the story of two poor millionaires. Michael Kimpur grew up herding cows and sleeping in a thatch hut, unaware of the modern world waiting for him over the mountains. It's the story of growing up in a sheltered, wealthy suburb, how he studied at a private Christian school and spent summers at Bible camp. It's a story of famine, missionaries, war, a search for God, and the unexpected consequences of introducing a remote desert village to Christianity. Michael and I are poor millionaires, two lost boys who found each other, and together, we both found our way home. 2 years ago, I did not think of myself as a writer. I was just a guy who had started a school with his Kenyan roommate, and I had a head full of stories that people kept telling me to write down. So finally, I wrote one down, and I sent it in to a Christian publishing contest. And of the 200 books that were submitted, I got second place. And after the contest, one of the judges pulled me aside and said I would have won, but my book wasn't Christian enough. Someone else pulled me aside and said that they thought it was an apologetic for the millennial generation. So I decided to write the whole thing down, and after 2 years and 400 pages, I sent in this manuscript, and I kept getting this contrary feedback, and I was told that it was an amazing example of what ordinary people can do with passion and persistence to make the world a better place, but that I wasn't famous enough to make sure that I would sell enough on the first run. So after a dozen rejection letters, I decided to ask my friends what they thought. One of them read the book and said that it was the first Christian book he had enjoyed in over a decade. And another one said it wasn't the typical Africa sob story that people keep writing, but that what was refreshing about this book was that it was honest and hilarious. An example of what real people can do when they try to make the world a better place. 6 years ago, Michael and I started a school in Kenya for orphans of war called Daylight. Our first month, we had $250 and 30 kids. Now we have 230 kids, with hundreds of children on the waiting list. So we wrote this book to get the word out. Please consider sponsoring this project so that we can get all those kids off the waiting list and into school.